You're watching Steep in the Woods. I'm Josh.
I'm Celia.
And this is our daughter, Ivy. Here at Steep in the Woods, we are 100% off-grid. We live on a 14-acre mountaintop homestead nestled deep in the Appalachian Mountains of North Carolina. Here on Steep in the Woods, we do totally off-grid on a shoestring budget. You'll see no fancy stuff here. It's just making do with what you have and what you can figure out. If you're new to the project, a big warm welcome. If you're a tough old root, then welcome back. If you happen to be financially challenged, such as myself, there are means and methods and techniques you can use to accomplish a task without a lot of money. One of these is the humble sandbag. If you just take and look up sandbags any other place on the internet other than here at Steep in the Woods, you'd hear all kinds of stories about how, you got to use a certain ratio of like sand and clay and straw and whatnot. Come on now. You can't slick up a mule and try to tell me it's a racehorse. Just, man, fill the bag with dirt. Whatever dirt happens to be where you're working is going to be just fine. However, I did remove the topsoil from this spot because we want to use it in our garden. I don't believe in wasting nothing, so I removed it. It would not have made the best sandbag. But you can use it. It just won't be nearly as good. The only trick I could tell you with filling up a sandbag is do it about 60-65% full. That gives you enough room to close it. However you choose to do that, as well as to fold the excess over, which I believe is also important in this type of construction. Another rule, if you can call it such, it's more of a recommendation, really, because you can do anything you want to. I mean, you can build it however you want to. If the thing wants to fall in on your head, well, that's your problem and your problem alone. However, I would recommend going with the general rule of like 1 foot per 8 feet. So if you're going to build a wall, maybe we'll say 6. It really depends on your dirt. I don't think you have to mix this stuff up special. I think you can use whatever you got. But if you feel like your dirt is a lesser quality than how this in your mind was pictured to turn out, if you imagine a full sandbag used in some kind of construction. If you feel like yours is lacking, I would increase this number to maybe not 8 feet, but like 6. But either way, it's like 1 foot of wall per 6 to 8 feet of height. So if you're going to make a 12-foot tall wall, it needs to be at least 2 feet wide. Right? Yeah. That sounds good. I got a little stash of bags here I've been working on so that we can give the film some amount of motion. This takes a long time. I mean, this is, it's dirt cheap. These bags are 25 cents or less, depending on what amount that you buy. But it does take a lot of time. They come with their own draw strings. In my experience, since these are getting a little up there in age, I've realized that string is the first thing to degrade. So I'm using a stapler. I love this dang stapler. It's one of the weird things about me. I stop for turtles and help them across the road. every turtle I see, doesn't matter, you know, if you're in a dang plane, if you see a turtle in danger, you move him. And I also really love staplers. Maybe that's a throwback to that movie, Cecil B. Demented. There's a bit in there about a stapler. Either way, I have this one. It's wonderful. I'm going to go ahead and just staple these up, and then we'll start laying them down. So doing sandbags is a very low skill type of building. You really can't go wrong unless you make your walls too thin for the amount of height. This is only serving as a foundation for our cordwood walls that I'll install at a later date. For this winter, I'm just going to cover the deal with canvas, install my stove, and get to work. So if there's any crafts y'all want me to make, you let me know. I'm working on bows, knife making, you know, other things, slingshots maybe slings, you know, David and Goliath or whatever. But either way, it's really, really simple, and this is going to serve as the foundation. I can build the cordwood walls once the canvas, once the canvas is up, but I don't want to be trying to tamp down these bags with a canvas, you know, just getting in my way. Either way, it's just like stacking block. You want to offset your seams, and the only other special thing, instead of mortar, you use barbed wire to attach the multiple layers together. So I got me 2 wires here, measured them out to where they fit between this post and that post, and you're just going to lay them down. It can be a little bit fiddly since they want a bow and you know whatnot, so I'll lay them down and take one of those barbs and try to stick it and pin it into the bag in the position that I want it in. So with this wall, I got 4 solid, you know, full bags in just sort of the general full bag size. So the second level, I need 2 halves and 3 full ones. Split the difference so that the seams do not line up. Just take your bag that you've stapled and you want to roll it down like so. And then you're going to put the folded edge facing down. Just like that. This is a full one, so that's a halvesy. That's a full one. Another full one. Flip him around. Our last full one. And our other halvesy, which is right here. It's that simple. You can get one of those concrete tampers. Obviously that costs money, and the whole point of this is do it on the cheap. So I got a pair of boots with a dude on top of them. You just squish it down. And that's that. I'm going to put my cordwood wood on these this winter in the hopes that whatever settling may occur will occur before I put my mud on them. And my thinking is hopefully these bags will create kind of a cradle for each one of those log rounds, kind of locking it into the foundation in a way that would be difficult to recreate with block. Plus, this is super cheap. Whoop, don't fall. Plus, this is super cheap. So, hey, you know, why on earth would you spend more if you ain't got to? Another thing you can do is use multiple pieces. You don't have to have one straight piece of barbed wire. You can have two of them, just make sure they overlap a decent amount. That can make it easy for the cutting and the straightening of the wire, not to have to do, you know, big long pieces. However, if I was building like a giant castle, I'd probably do big long pieces. But it is an option if you want to take it. That's what I usually do. So there you go. It's that easy, it's that simple, and it's that cheap. The amount of money you have should never stop you from attempting life. If you liked what you saw, hit that button. If you're new to the channel, hit that other button. If you want to help support the project, there are links below. Until next time here, Steve in the Woods.